Can you copyright a dance?
I don't know.
Some celebrities think you can.
Hot take!
Fortnite is without a doubt one of the most popular video games on the planet right now. And when something that happens in the game when you win or when you want to emote is you dance. This is in the game world all over the place.
Yes, when you have a free game and the dances that are within Fortnite, they're not free.
Yeah.
Many of them are things that you have to buy additionally because that's how Fortnite makes money, right? There's skins, there's dances, and different things like that. 78.3 million people playing Fortnite right now. Big bucks to be had there.
Oh, yeah.
So a lot of dances going around, a lot of people upset because it turns out that many of the dance moves are being taken from different media, right?
Yep.
A lot of actors, actually. We were looking into it. Today, Shane was like, hey, they stole Alfonso Carlton's dance from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. The actor's name's Alfonso Ribeiro.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's basically his exact dance.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like they watched the episode, and this was, I think it was Dancing with the Stars or something like that.
Right, he did it on Dancing with the Stars, but we remember it from Fresh Prince,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
He was dancing to Tom Jones. It's not unusual.
Yes.
Yeah. So while we were researching this, we were seeing that like a bunch of other actors and musicians were also upset or even seeking some sort of compensation because their dances were ripped as well.
So let's go through the list.
Yeah, so Donald Faison, who plays Turk on Scrubs, his dance Poison was stolen. Nathan Barnett, better known as
Keith Apicary.
thank gosh, you remembered. Keith Apicary, his dance, the boneless dance, was taken.
Yep.
And Backpack Kid, everyone's doing the floss, right?
Now, here's what's funny. I thought the floss came from Fortnite. I've seen so many kids do this, but apparently it's not.
Exactly the problem, right? His nickname's Backpack Kid. His real name's Russell Horning, I believe. His floss dance came out before Fortnite, the huge boom that is the Fortnite we know today. He's seeking compensation as well. 2 Milli, a hip hop artist, they stole his Milli Rock dance. Snoop Dogg is also rumored.
Yes.
Because of his Drop It Like It's Hot, you know, I don't know if I can do it.
So, like,
Something like this, wax on, wax off, Shane?
This is insane because there are... Look, if it was just one performer talking about this, that would be one thing. But let's talk about the legitimacy of this because I know a lot of people are out there thinking, it's a dance! Who cares? Nobody cares.
Yeah.
You should, because it's not just the dance they took. We looked at the footage side by side, and you can clearly tell that they scanned over the image and basically rotoscoped it.
Yeah,
So
it
basically,
looks like it.
yeah.
Yeah.
What it means is they basically went over the every frame and matched the frame perfectly, or just drew over top of it, created a skeletal model, and just recreated that scene directly. That means they were taking copywritten work from a television show or a broadcast and repurposing it for their own needs and desires.
Right. So there is some sort of literature on this on CBC just recently. So there's a copyright lawyer. His name's Eric Norton. He had this to say about it. Dance moves themselves are not trademarkable because they're not used to identify where goods or services originate, unlike a logo, slogan, or a brand name. So he's saying that, well, you can't really copyright a dance. I think there's a conversation to be had there, but he went on to say as well, but trademarks have been successfully made for NFL touchdown celebrations, which are basically dances.
Yeah. Yeah. See? So, like, this is really bad for Epic. Look.
Yeah.
We wanted to talk about this not because we care about dancing.
Well, yeah, we're very passionate about dance.
Here's the thing that we really wanted to talk about was the fact that, of course, they were going to steal dance moves from other people. They stole Battle Royale! Like, it's not even their thing. Battle Royale was made popular in gameplay form with a bunch of other games prior to it, but most namely, PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds.
Right.
PlayerUnknown kind of created the Battle Royale formula.
We can't forget that there was one big lawsuit that happened before all these. Before the PUBG devs were seeking compensation because, yes, the rug was very much tugged out from under them when Fortnite became basically one-upped the PUBG for its style of game.
Because they gave it away for free.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
They were working together, and they had proof that they had worked together and sort of shared ideas and stuff. And yeah, somehow that lawsuit kind of fizzled away into the ether, right?
Yeah. I mean, now that Fortnite is so popular, of course a bunch of people want a chunk of that pie. But one of the problems you got to deal with here is that they didn't just blindly recreate these dances from memory. They literally went to the sourced video that we found online, just like everyone else.
Like you said.
Yeah.
Frame by frame. It's almost like, yes, every single single image was copied verbatim.
Yeah, I mean, actors and performers can copyright those things. We've seen dances in the past copywritten or trademarked for an assortment of different reasons. And realistically, this can affect Epic largely because, one, it's one of the ways they make money from the game.
Right.
And if it is found out that they were stealing material from other people, which they clearly were.
They clearly are.
And then what happens is all the profits that they've earned from selling those things, they have to give it to the people they stole from. You don't get to keep that. You have to give it to the people.
Right.
So think about that.
Yeah.
All the money they've earned, which has been millions upon millions.
Yeah, do you think this is possibly just a few actors or celebrities just trying to get a piece of the pie? Do you think they have a right to the pie? It sounds like you do.
Look, if it were me and I was looking at that footage side to side, I'd be like, look, you clearly were doing this, right? I've seen things happen for less. Right, I've seen people get awarded for very small things that they've taken.
That's true.
Right, whether it be logos,
sure,
in video games,
or even like songs, like certain like beats and stuff.
Yeah,
we've seen like lawsuits, like Under Pressure. I know was an issue, and there's a bunch of other ones as well.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But I think in video games, we never really think about the copyrights that have happened. Now, there's been copyrights and lawsuits and trademark copyright infringement stuff for songs, for images, but really minor things. You ever notice how we don't see the red plus sign for health anymore? That's because apparently at one point the Red Cross went after video game developers going, you can't take that. That's ours. And they got it. Yeah. There's a lot of companies. Apparently, there are some games that still use it now, once and again. But there are copyright reasons for that to happen. Even things like the birthday song, right?
Oh, right. I heard that's public. It's
public now. But there was a while there where they had to pay. I think it was like Warner Brothers or something for years.
Now that you mentioned the Red Cross, I wonder like how far you can extend the lines until you're like, that's a T.
You don't. Yeah,
like what's the moment?
It's weird, right?
Or like the rotation. Like that's a sideways X.
I think in this context, you've got enough people claiming that they've been robbed, so they can just show images of themselves.
People are already making them.
Yeah, right.
Like that's how we're seeing them. Is people are making like side by side comparisons. And frame by frame.
And let's just say Epic takes those things out of Fortnite, which would damage them because a lot of people use these emotes all the time.
Imagine if you purchase a product and they take it away from you. Like, dude.
It would be a bad thing, but it doesn't matter because they still have established sales from doing all that stuff. So what basically matters here is this. All these actors can take all these performers can take these dances as copyright material to court and take Epic to court to basically go, look, okay, these are all us.
Yes.
They are directly stealing directly from us. If it's not the performers that can get behind this, it's the people that own the source material. So, for instance, whoever owns the distribution rights and the broadcast rights to Dancing with the Stars, Fresh Prince,
Scrubs,
sure. The Floss Dance, I guess, was taken from the SNL broadcast or even from the music video.
Yeah, Katy Perry had a music video with the Backpack Kid.
The music video is probably owned by the distributors of the music company. So you're dealing with all these companies that are seeing this massive presence online, but they're not getting any money for it.
Basically, there's proof that this is consumable media. Like this is media that is sold, right?
Yes.
So I do believe there is a precedent there.
If, for instance, if the dance, the Carlton dance, if it's called the Carlton dance in the game, or if there's somewhere in the code of the game that references his name, that can also be used as well to say you stole that material from us.
Yeah, they're doing a pretty kind of shady job of changing the name of the dance. Like I know that Nathan Barnett's dance, it's called was it Boneless Dance? They call it something like No Bones Dance or something. It's like, okay, okay, we see what you're doing here.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
All they have to do is just take the source material, like I said, and show exactly where they stole it from, right? Because if it's in any way different, just like tiny little changes here and there, then it's not the exact same thing, and it's inspired by that dance. But it's just what we saw was just ripped straight from those video files, right?
It seemed like it was not just like the moves per se, but it was like the angles and everything. Like it was spot on.
Yeah.
So Yeah.
I mean, look, it's a weird time. Typically, when you have a video game company like Epic, you have a whole bunch of lawyers that are sitting in the building, and they're going, okay, you can do this, you can do that, you can do this, you can do that. I promise you, regardless of what anyone is saying right now, the lawyers are probably freaking out because at no point did anyone tell them that they took those dances from another source material, right? Because if they did, I promise you, any lawyer worth their salt would have been like, no, you can't take that. That we didn't do that. We didn't make that.
I think part of what Epic was doing was just playing the quiet game in a sense, where they're just like, no, don't say anything. If anyone notices, maybe they had a plan all along. They're like, okay, maybe we'll give them a little money here or there. But they're just like, and just oblivious, playing ignorant. And now it seems like if a lot of these celebrities are coming together in like one massive damages lawsuit, it could probably really affect. We're talking Fortnite.
Of course.
We're talking not hundreds of millions. We're talking billions of dollars here that this game's making. So.
Yeah, and they're cut out of that. Like, look, folks, I know this sounds crazy and wild, like it's never going to happen, but it really can. This is a lot more dangerous than I think anyone is giving it any credit for Epic. And I think what makes it even worse is to really take into consideration that once they've established precedent that the folks at Epic are willing to steal things, then they can start looking at other places that Epic may have stole items, whether it be video game assets of some sort, whether it can be whole game ideas, and then you can start to see a lot of companies going at it. Now, we talked about PUBG a while ago, actually suing Epic for stealing the game idea of PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, and that whole thing got dropped.
Yeah.
We theorized that the reason why it got dropped was because the owners of Epic happened to be actually one of the shareholders of Epic happens to be one of the shareholders of the folks that made PUBG. Yeah,
Tencent.
Right?
Was it Tencent?
It was Tencent. So when something like that happens, that means that the company would have to sue themselves, which can happen, by the way. But I'm pretty sure Tencent stepped in and went, no, you can't do that.
Kids, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's fine.
But this should kind of worry you because it means that Fortnite and what Epic has made hasn't really invented a whole lot. And if that's the case, you're probably going to see them kind of struggle the moment that this game starts to lose popularity. I know it sounds crazy, right? But if they're taking dance moves, if they're taking video game like assets or like concepts from different video games, and they're trying to like bundle everything together, it's only going to last so much until their unoriginal ideas just have nowhere to go.
You think?
I mean, look. Fortnite is popular right now. We've all seen it. Everyone knows how big it is, but it just can't continue. Eventually, it's going to stop being popular. Like every free-to-play game I've ever seen, it never lasts that long.
Yeah, like any game. Eventually, there's a downturn. We'll have to see what happens.
Unless you're Minecraft.
Yeah.
Minecraft keeps going.
You remember the Namco lawsuit about the loading screen where you play a video game and stuff?
Right?
To me, that was one of the more egregious lawsuit or trademarks, I should say. It wasn't necessarily a lawsuit. It was more of a
these
trademark.
Companies are totally litigious, right?
Yeah.
So if it ever gets to a point where somebody can prove that something else is from that game, it's going to happen. And folks, it can happen in a bunch of different ways. Now that you're looking at the dances, think about the costumes, think about the character designs, think about little minor things like that, even sound effects that might have been stolen that you don't know about. And the folks at Epic were just, because remember, Fortnite was a game in a very long development cycle. They were working on it for a really long time, and when it came out, it bombed. So at the last minute, they threw a bunch of stuff at the game and just took a different game mode from someone else and just stuffed it in there, and it happened to work by giving it away for free. So whatever they had to do in that time period to make that game free, wherever they took their graphics, wherever they took any of their assets, they did it on the fly super quick. So maybe there's other stuff there, and now people are going to start looking into it a lot more.